Happy New Year, everybody, even though it is January 8th. It's probably been about, I don't know what, 3 months since I've put a video up. Um, I got back and re energized after my 1 month trip out west, and I went right back to working a job that I love. I'm a physical therapist, and I've been working in home care in southwest Naples, and I do a lot of work off of Marco Island, so it doesn't get better than that, right? But there were a lot of things that went through my mind over 2016, and especially in the last couple months, probably since I got back, just things that I thought about. Some I find just annoying, and I'm just kind of wondering what you guys would think about this. For me, anyway, I was new to YouTube, and even though I am not technology oriented, and therefore I don't put a lot of videos up, I watch it every day, and so I've seen people from all walks of life, and I just find it fascinating. But in the last few weeks, I've talked to a lot of different people, people that I know and love, and just some of their thought process on some of the things that I'm about to discuss that kind of maybe bug me. So I think we've heard a lot more about minimalism over the last year. I have to say that I, without knowing it, started that probably about 4 years ago. I grew up in a challenging neighborhood. My father would not like me to say that it was that we lived poor because we had so much more than everybody around us. But that being said, it wasn't what I would call your middle of the road neighborhoods either. So, one of the things that I grew up with was never expecting anyone to give me anything. My parents gave me everything they had. My mother literally made me go to college. I tried to run away at one point, and she literally took me back. And because of that, I became a physical therapist, and because of that, I developed a business, and because of that, I was able to adopt 6 children and raise 9. And so one thing led to another, as life is. It's a journey from one step to another. One thing always leads to something else, either something good or something not so good. And over the last year, I've heard of people saying, well, I'm a minimalist. And I say, that's cool. And I've gotten rid of, I had a couple houses and a condo and a historical building and property, and I'm down to just a couple pieces of property. And literally have no clothes except for the scrubs that I wear, and I rent a little trailer in Southwest Florida. Got rid of my Jeep, as you've seen, and I'm down to one vehicle. And I am planning on paring it down even more. So when you get into discussions with people that they say, yeah, I'm a minimalist, I've hit the road, I'm living off the grid. I'm like, how cool is that? Then you realize that they had other people back home paying some of their bills, or when they're in a jam, they go live with a relative, or they have a spouse paying a bill, or they expect their parents to pick up a tab. That to me, I don't know, that's not minimalism. That's maybe being selfish, or I, I don't know. I'll let you put the word to that, but that's not what I'm looking at. That's not minimalism. So that's like one of the things that kind of bug me. When people, and they truly believe this, that's even more concerning. I mean, you sort of see that in maybe younger kids where they're like, I don't need you, I don't need this, but they want to live at your house. So, but when you start to see it in older people, and because of their actions, other people have had to pick up the tab, and they don't see it. I mean, they have no insight to it. So it's just sad because these are really good, loving people that many people love. And so the other people around them are trying to help them, but they don't want to be helped. They truly believe that this is okay. Then, of course, I myself have taken to wanting to travel more and the whole concept of freedom. And so I bought my Class B, and it's not a B plus. It's not a. It's like 21 foot, I think. And My challenge this year is to see what it's going to be like to live in it full time for the 13 weeks. So full time for 13 weeks, not full time. And and could I do that for a more extended period of time? Well, I think that other people hit the road and they see travelers and they begin to think, I can just live off the grid, assuming that they're living off the grid. And something that I said to a friend not long ago is, be careful what you think you see. Um, you see them out there. They could be a weekend traveler. They could be gone for a month like I did. They could be a teacher that's off for 3 months. Some of your trades, if it snows up north, they maybe have 6 months to travel. Or you get these smart people on their computers. They're web designers, graphic designers, counselors, a lot of accountants. So you have people that are actually working as they travel, or maybe they're not traveling all the time. I think there's a tendency to always want what somebody else has, or you convince yourself that that's what you want. So that's how I feel about that. The other thing about traveling is sometimes you want so much what somebody else has that you feel that if you get all the right stuff, it'll make you that type of person. So the person that decides, I'm going to travel, and then they go out and they buy a brand new whatever, Class A, Class B, truck, camper, whatever. So they buy something new and they think that that's what they want, and then they get it and then they realize it's really maybe not the right fit. All of that isn't as concerning as probably my third thought, and it really had to do more about me maybe, and because of that I'm looking at my world around me a little bit differently. I think that sometimes we think that we want certain things and maybe they're not what we need. This year was a horrible year for me, honestly. It started out bad and it just kind of trudged through on every front. Probably in regards to, the kind of work that I currently do versus what else could I do. Children, home life, trying to get out from underneath, having to work as much, and really, really just wanting to travel. And so there lies the question, is what I want really what I need? And I had a friend that suggested that I meditate, which for me is like the biggest challenge on the planet, because you really sort of have to empty your mind of the things that you think you know about yourself and just sort of have a mental stillness, just sort of stop thinking, stop talking, stop moving, and sort of allow thoughts to come to you that maybe aren't self-generated. That is very, very difficult for me. And it's something that I do now every night. And sometimes I do the self-guided ones because I feel like I need to be walked through some thoughts initially until I get to that place in my head where I'm just not thinking so much. And maybe that's what I have found now that I see it in myself, because I went through my life, I was just a crazy busy person. I owned a business, I owned a lot of property, I had 9 children, I had a gazillion pets because I'm a pet lover. And I thought, would I do everything the same? And the reality is that I would probably do it all exactly the same. But what's become an aha moment, as they say, is that maybe the way I went through my life could have been easier and happier and more joyful because of the way I looked at things. And so here we are, 2017, and people are making goals for themselves, and I'm not sure if I have a specific goal. I think the way I'm looking at 2017 is more of I want to let the process of life happen to me as opposed to me planning things. Not to say that there aren't things that I would like to see happen this year for me. And one of them is to really kind of let people think and do what they want. And maybe this is what's led me to see how people look at their lives. I just see some people that are truly, profoundly, I'm not going to say unhappy, but almost amazed that certain things aren't happening for them in their life. Like, why don't I have the money that I need to survive? Or why, when I made that decision, that didn't work out, so I had I had to make another decision. Or why are people mad at me? Or just sort of like that. And so I'm really trying to just look at myself and think about, really, what do I need? One of the things I'm going to do today is Sunday. I know even though I'm living in a little trailer, there's still stuff in here that I just don't need, and I am going to get rid of it. There are more clothes that I don't need. I don't need to know exactly what I'm going to do 6 months from now. I want to know, and one of the things that I do know is this 13-week assignment. I want to be traveling full time, but maybe I don't need to be doing that this year. Maybe I can start going down that road. I would love to see those around me happier, more joyful, more peaceful within. There's just so much going on in the world. I think that if we all take one thing and just try to make that one thing better. I have a daughter who's into saving the environment. I'm so happy for her.